Next, the starting gun was fired over the weekend in the race to become the Conservative candidate and take on Sadiq Khan in the next year's mayoral elections. The current mayor expressed his surprise that the Minister for London and favourite to get the nomination, Paul Scully, hadn't made the shortlist. With the latest, here's our political correspondent, Simon Harris.
Sadiq Khan doesn't yet know who'll be his main rival in next year's election, but he does know who it won't be. 2 days ago, the Conservatives took the surprise decision to block Paul Scully, the Minister for London, from becoming the party's candidate.
I am surprised. I know Paul Scully, I've known him for years. He's a nice bloke. He's been the Minister of London for some time. We get on well. We've worked together on a number of big issues, the pandemic, the recovery and so forth.
Mr Scully launched his bid to be Tory candidate less than 4 weeks ago.
Absolutely, I can win.
But when the party announced its shortlist of City Hall hopefuls on Sunday, Mr Scully failed to make the cut. Instead, London Assembly member Susan Hall, Daniel Korski, a former political advisor, and Muzammel Hussain, a criminal barrister, were named as the 3 finalists.
The only candidate who can beat Sadiq Khan is I.
Why?
Look, I am the real London dream. The boy from the village in Bangladesh is a King's Counsel now.
My unique selling point is that I'm a businessman, I'm an entrepreneur. I bristle with energy and new ideas, and I don't just want to work the politics as usual. I'm not a politician. I'm a businessman, and I can bring an outside perspective to politics, to City Hall, that is sorely needed.
We all want to do it, and I'm very, very grateful that I'm down to the last 3.
Are you surprised Paul Scully isn't on the shortlist?
It's such a shame. I'm very fond of Paul. He's an extremely nice person.
Sadiq Khan has successfully won elections as an MP and as a mayor. By contrast, 2 of the Tories hoping to challenge him are novices when it comes to fighting an election. Privately, some senior Tories are furious at the decision to exclude someone with Paul Scully's experience. They believe it has all but gifted Sadiq Khan a 3rd term.
The choice of the next election will be, me standing on my record council homes, record generally affordable homes, record numbers of mentors, tackling.
Is the election in the bag?
No, listen. In a democracy, you've got to make sure you earn every vote. It's for the Conservatives to explain why they've not allowed Scully to be on the shortlist.
The mayor must wait a little longer to find out who he'll face at the ballot box. The winner of the Tory beauty contest will be announced 5 weeks tomorrow. Simon Harris, ITV News, Westminster.
But first, figures obtained by ITV News London reveal the alarming rate at which banks are closing, with some parts of the capital left with either none or very few branches. The switch to online banking has left many customers wanting face-to-face service with nowhere to go. But today, an innovative way of banking in person officially opened in West London. Here's our political correspondent, Simon Harris.
In the Essex town of Shenfield, the banks have done a runner. The NatWest is now a bar. Next door, the Barclays is an empty shop unit. So too is the HSBC. The Yorkshire Building Society is a restaurant, and what was once Lloyd's now sells pizzas. In nearby St Peter's Church, Barclays customers at least could bank in a pop-up branch 2 days a week.
The reason why we reached out to the church is because they've got so many community activities that happen within our local church here in Shenfield. So it means perfect that we can actually fit into where our customers are, where our local community is.
The changing face of the High Street in Shenfield is a familiar one. In Acton, in West London, there used to be half a dozen banks. Now there's just one. But in the shopping precinct, this week saw the opening of London's first banking hub.
At the counter, customers of almost any bank and building society can come in and carry out their cash transactions. So they can do cash withdrawals and deposits, cheque deposits, balance inquiries, bill payments.
The hub is a joint venture involving all of the main High Street banks. Moira has lived in Acton for more than 40 years and has been campaigning for the hub to open.
Very importantly, there is a person who can deal with our private banking matters once a week. So Barclays is here today, and I can talk to them about my overdraft or my application for a loan or a mortgage in privacy and in silence. It's tremendously useful.
If we're saying that individual branches don't have enough customers to sustain footfall, then I think this is a really innovative model. I just wish it'd be open a bit longer. Already people have said, what about Saturday and Sunday? So it's Monday to Friday. I'm hoping it proves successful, can be rolled out at weekends too.
In 2015, there were more than 1,200 banks in London. More than half have closed.
And Simon is in Westminster preparing for his show. Simon, what else are you talking about tonight?
Duncan, on the late debate tonight, we'll ask whether the march towards a cashless society is unstoppable. I'll be joined in the studio by Labour MP James Murray, Felicity Buchan for the Conservatives and the Lib Dems Deputy Leader Daisy Cooper. Not surprisingly, they've got plenty to say about the downfall of Boris Johnson and the fallout from today's report by the Privileges Committee. 15 years after Londoners chose him to be the mayor, is it the end or merely hasta la vista? And what chances do the Tories have of holding on to his former seat in Uxbridge and South Ruislip? Plus that controversial idea of housing asylum seekers on a barge in the Royal Docks, and a little chat about the late Glenda Jackson. That's the late debate here on ITV after news at 10.